Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bass Fishing for Noobs here on the PaddleNFin podcast. I'm your host Sean.
And I'm Susie Q.
How's it going, Miss Susie?
It's going pretty good. I'm packing and getting prepped for my next tournament coming up. I'm heading north to Madison, Wisconsin. And this is going to be one of my bigger tournaments this season. Last I looked, we got 100 anglers signed up for this one. And luckily, this isn't one that I'm running, so I get to kind of, step back and just compete, so that's kind of nice for me. So.
I imagine so. I imagine running any tournament where 100 folks show up is probably more than I would care to deal with. Luckily, the few that I've done have maxed out at like 35, 40. So, man, I can't even imagine. So,
yeah. The stakes are getting set pretty high for this one. And I know first place also gets to walk away with a brand new OB. It's either a Compass or an Outback. So,
okay.
That's pretty awesome. And I mean, entry fee is $100. So, and there's already 100 anglers. So,
yeah, that adds up.
Prize pool is looking pretty nice right now. So, I mean, regardless, whether or not how well I do, I'm just kind of like, we'll see how it goes,
Should be a good experience either way.
Yeah. And I kind of have a love-hate relationship with the Madison chain. For some of you guys who don't know, this is, the Madison chain is a chain of 5 different lakes. But the one in particular, Mendota, is the one in which I flipped my kayak a few years ago. And it's not that I have, any PTSD or, bad memories or anything like that. I mean, it just, there was a lot of factors and whatnot that went into it that happened. And, it's not like I'm traumatized or anything like that. It just, there were a lot of things that just went into it, right place, wrong time type of thing. So, but hey, you know what? I'm going to go back out there and I'm going to go check that place out where I was because that's where I was catching fish. So, we'll see what happens. It's supposed to be 92 on Saturday, which is the day of the tournament. So it's going to be hot. So we'll see how it goes. It'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah. I mean, just from before we got on, Susie was showing me a little bit of the on the map of where she's been, and it looks like a very fishy area. So, and good luck, and definitely excited for you, and anxious to hear how that goes. So
yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. But then I'll have a pretty nice break for a while. My next tournament isn't until like July 15th, so. Gotcha. I'll be able to kind of, take a little bit of a break and catch up on some things around the she shed, around the house, things have
Can't neglect the she shed, man.
Yeah. I mean, like I haven't even got the blind up in the window yet. I got a towel over it right now, so yeah, I'll be able to catch up on some projects in the meantime. So,
yeah. Well, very cool. Cool.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, tonight we have a familiar face to us here, especially on the PNF crew, because this gentleman is a PNF alumni. We're welcoming him back, although he was never gone far from our thoughts. Or super happy. I reached out to him after seeing a post on a bait that he was talking about that I had seen a lot and heard a lot about, but hadn't had a chance to try it. And I reached out to him, and he was gracious enough to come back and share with everyone again. So I'd like to welcome Shane LemMon back to the podcast. Welcome back, sir.
What's going on, guys? Thank you for that intro, Sean. You're awesome. Susie, good to see you guys. And I will always have a soft place in my heart for PaddleNFin. Even before I joined the crew, I loved listening to the show. And when I was on the crew, just nothing but great times, and always have much love for you guys,
dude. And we've missed you, and we've definitely when I was like, man, we just need to catch up. I could do a show just on catching up with him, but so speaking of catching up, what's new, man?
Not a whole lot, just being a dad 24/7. Just staying busy with 2 kids now. Before, when I was on the crew and I went out to Dale Hollow, we had 1 child, and when we left, shortly after, we had our second, and so Tennessee definitely has some good vibes there. But yeah, that's been taking up a lot of my time. But man, honestly, fishing wise, I moved into a community that is kind of like a local bass fishing haven, and I've always wanted to live here. It honestly felt like living in California. I'm from Southern California, and moving in here, I kind of felt like I moved out of state just because it has like that like country-ish vibe. There's a lot of like-minded people that love fishing, guns and just like kind of just like that cool country vibe that live inside the community. And like I said, I've always wanted to live in here, and the bass fishing here is absolutely incredible. Like, if anyone or if you guys were ever to come out here, you guys would fall in love with it because the bass fishing's that good. They eat pretty much anything, and they're you can catch them on chatterbaits, frogs, kind of things that are a little bit tougher to catch at our bodies of water around here. And they have floating docks, which is something that's super rare for us around these parts of the state. So yeah, moved in here, still doing the tournament scene. I fished the ABA kayak series. Um, so I've been staying busy with that. I'm the tournament director for that, and that's been a lot of fun this year. It's a little higher entry, the competition's stiff, and it's a fun thing to fish locally. And also kind of new for this year, and Deshaun, while you're having me on the show, talking about this new bait, but I was fortunate enough to make a connection with Yamamoto, and I joined their pro team
That's
as
awesome.
a kayak angler.
Heck yeah.
And so that was definitely a huge thing for myself as an angler, and kind of a dream come true, to be honest. To be on their team, quite the honor to as that's pretty much what I could say about it. So I'm just stoked, man. Things keep falling into place. I wish I could fish more, but I try to use my platform with my podcast and just everything that I do to stay relevant and promote the sport as best I can. And that's pretty much kind of the update with what's been going on over here.
Gotcha, and that's awesome. I mean, Yamamoto is a huge sponsor to be able to land that. I mean, it says a lot about you and your brand and everything. So that's very very cool to hear.
Yeah, thanks, man. They
That's
got picked up.
awesome.
They actually, as you may know, they got bought out. Yamamoto sold to GSM Outdoors. So GSM now owns Yamamoto Baits. There's kind of some rumors like, oh, they changed the plastic changes. No, they didn't change any of that juice that we love Yamamoto for. The newer baits do have a little bit of some different stuff in them, but the older Cinco, everything's still the same. But GSM owns them. They also own Buckeye, so I got on with Buckeye Lures as well.
Okay.
And they also own Bill Lewis. So I got on with Bill Lewis as well. So those 3 are the ones that I'm under their umbrella. And they also own Steel Shad Lures. I don't know if you've heard of them, but Steel Shad.
Absolutely. It's a blade bait, right?
Oh, I had one. I have one somewhere.
I use them. I use them in the winter a lot.
Yeah.
Actually.
Here's the blade bait, Steel Shad.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I am very familiar with those.
Yeah.
Those come in about a bazillion different colors too.
And sizes, yeah. And
Yes.
sizes. So yeah, that's pretty much the update on this end of the world.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Well, I noticed the hat too. That's like the rattle trap hat, right? So
Yeah.
very cool.
Bill Lewis. Yeah, man.
All the cool brands, man.
Awesome.
Dang.
Yep.
And Bass Thumbs is still going. You're representing the West Coast out there, keeping the folks in the know of what's happening with the tournament scene out there.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could do it more consistently, but I do it about twice a month, and I try to cover the bigger winners that win like the major series out here, like Wild West. There's California Bass Nation, Yakka Bass, SoCal Kayak Anglers, ABA, and then you got the Arizona boys doing Bass Nation now and KAA, and then the good folks in Utah too. You got Cody Henley and Aaron Matthews out there. They're always doing big things too. So I try to cover, and then you got Marvin Forte up in Washington. He's always doing big things as well. So trying to cover just that crew of people that that do a lot of great things for the sport, especially out here on the West Coast.
I was going to say, that you hear so much about East Coast stuff, and the West Coast often gets left out of those conversations, and definitely not rightfully so, because you guys got a great thing going out there, and I think the more you can shed a light on it and put a spotlight on it, the better and well known it's going to be, and hopefully that'll start drawing that national conversation that direction too.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
it was really cool to see Damien Tao. He went out and represented our Western region for the Team USA
Team
kayak.
USA,
Yeah,
yeah.
Team USA.
Yes.
So the fact that he got invited and he took second place overall and took home, a silver medal, and then the Team USA won the gold, like it was just really cool to see that, Really awesome. One of our own.
Absolutely representing, man. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, the reason I brought you on is because I had seen a post that you had made about the Yamamoto Yama Tanuki, and it was a boat. Yeah. So, and I was talking to Shane when Susie stepped out just for a second. I know, like being a Super Mario fan, the Tanuki suit in Mario is the one where he wears where he has the raccoon tail, and the tail on the Yama Tanuki. I don't know if there's any play on there or if it matches up, but that's every time I see the bait, that's what I think of. So I don't know if
I'll
that's any part
definitely
of that, but
now that you say it like that, I'll definitely ask and see if there was any kind of
I don't know if
comparison there or any kind of relatability, I guess the word is, because that tail definitely dances. I'll
gotcha,
show it.
gotcha. So it looks like a cool, unique bait. I ordered some. I just didn't get them yet. I was hoping to get them yesterday, because I went out fishing yesterday, and I was hoping to fish with them before we got to talk about them. But I'll be okay getting your word of mouth for it. And
Okay, so
so
here's the packaging. So this is kind of the new style packaging. So anytime you kind of see this style of packaging compared to like the old, greener kind,
yep,
this is when you know like it's a newer bait. And this is the 2.5. So this is a 3.5. This is the first one that came out, which is a little bit bigger and used to like flip. Guys throw it on a chatterbait. You could put it on a jig. You can flip it weightless. You can, kind of do a whole bunch of different things with this thing. So this hit the market, I don't know, maybe a couple months ago. And then they got a ton of feedback when this thing came out, and we're like, man, wish that they had a smaller size. So Yamamoto listened to that, and they came out with the little guy, the 2.5 inch, and you can see the difference. This is a lot thicker. This is a little bit skinnier profile. Same exact kind of action, just a smaller size, and it's great to fish on a Ned rig. You can weightless this little guy. You could nose hook it on a drop shot. You could put it on the back of a micro jig. We all know when you think tiny baits, you shouldn't think tiny fish, because big fish eat tiny baits. So this thing is definitely going to be a huge player. It's something just a little bit different, and it's always nice to throw things that are just a little bit different, especially if you live in a very high pressured fishery. Fish are used to seeing a lot of, the same bait, same Ned rigs. And when you throw this little guy in there, I mean, I almost want to eat it.
well, if you have a whole pack, so I mean, if you get hungry,
yeah. And like those fidget spinners, like those fidget spinners that keep you going. Like just do this. Just buy one of these things. Just kind of go like this and let your mind go where it go. I wanted to make a Instagram reel, and someone can steal it if they want. But what was the song? There was like a song, like I think it was like that one. There's that one.
Right
there you
round.
go. But there's also the one that goes, let me see you wiggle wiggle anyway, Sean, sorry. I think Sean's frozen.
I gotta say, yeah, it looks like he's kind of frozen right now.
He's frozen with a smile on.
He is, yep.
But Ned rig, I got it rigged right here on a weedless Ned rig. I don't know if you guys can see that very well or not, but this is just a Ned head that my buddy pours. But any kind of Ned style rig is gonna work well with this thing. I was dropping a little bit of juice earlier for Susie and Sean, but this bait has a couple couple divots in it. I know it might be hard to see. Let me see if I can do
Yep,
this.
kind of like some
But
slots.
there's some
kind of
slots
in
right there,
Yep.
and on the other side too. So to make your hookup ratio a little bit better, even on the bigger one, some guys can take like a little razor blade and they just cut down the rivet just a little deeper, so that way your hook will slide, you know, up or down more, which will
More in
cut
there
through
too.
plastic more and have a better hookup ratio that way. So
Yep. Yeah, Sean tells me he'll be right back. His laptop battery died.
ooh.
He failed at keeping his laptop battery charged. I'll have to ask him for that here in a little bit.
But yeah, I mean, Yamamoto has dropped quite a few new things. The Yamatanuki is kind of the hot one right now, as far as, you know, they're really promoting it well. But they also came out with some other Ned baits. This is the Ned, I think it's called the floater, the Ned Cinco, yeah, the Ned Cinco floater. So they have put in, this is when I said like different technology or newer technology. They've put in like a floating technology to make this bait stand straight up on a Ned rig.
Oh.
You know, you could also Nico rig this thing. You
Mm-hmm.
could weightless, and then weightless might be a little tough because it might not sink.
Sure.
But you put a little tiny nail weight in. The nail weight that I like to use for those little baits, even a Cinco, is just, it's the Wu Tungsten. It's just a little tiny
Yep.
one. I don't even know if you guys can see this or not, but it's just like a 1/32 ounce.
Mm-hmm.
And
Just to
to
give it
me,
enough weight, just to get it to.
you just want it to go like this.
Yep.
Yep.
Go straight up and down. Yep.
So I stock up with these things, and you know, I know that there's Ned, you know, Ned heads, or Ned, not Ned, Nico weights,
Mm-hmm.
but tungsten, you get a smaller profile, and they're more sensitive, and they're just, I feel like they're just a little bit better than Nico.
Yep.
You don't want it too bulky in there.
Right. Yep.
So let's see what else. Also, something else is the new Yamamoto Yamakra. Yamakra. So it comes in a pack like this. Yep, Yamakra.
Ooh.
So kind of has, I'm not gonna lie, kind of has like a rage tail vibe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But these claws on, like, you could put it on a shaky head. I like to cut it down a little bit and put it on the back of a jig.
Mm-hmm.
But these claws stand up. So we all know the defensive position of a crawdad. Claws are
Mm-hmm.
up. So the new floating technology does that well. Guys, punch this bait as well. You can punch it.
Mm-hmm.
You can Nico rig it. Again,
Yep.
the options are unlimited. Unlimited.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So
I'm actually looking on Tackle Warehouse website as you're kind of going through some of these as well, and the Yamatanuki right now. They all, for the 2.5 anyway. It says June 23rd for the next availability for those. So I don't know if that's just because it's because they're so new and so limited and whatnot, but they're a pretty hot item right now apparently.
hey, Sean, you should make sure your laptop's charged before we. Uh-oh, there you go.
Oh, now he went back out. Yeah. Oh, now he's back in.
Oh,
Oh,
there you
and
go.
now he's back out. Well, we'll continue on while we're going. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, these
So
are probably going to be tough to get, to be honest. And if you have some in your hands already, if you were fortunate enough to get some when they dropped, at, you know, I'm pretty sure retailers all throughout the country should have some in stock. If not, then if you have them, throw them, because not a lot of people have them yet.
yeah, yep, they're going to be the new next hot bait that everybody wants right now, and apparently that's what everybody wants right now, according to Tackle Warehouse.
Yes. Are you there, Sean? Uh-oh.
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me? I'm not sure what's going on with my video.
Yep, we can hear and see you, but you're kind of you're kind of grainy. Oh, and now you're kind of frozen again. Yep, he's frozen. Oh,
No.
no, no.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, that was like classic. We need the.
He's moving.
Yep, he's moving now. So yep, we can see him. Oh,
He's
now
breathing.
we need the. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the. There's a name for it, like the.
Oh, am I back?
Oh, yeah, he's kind of back now.
That's great.
There he is. Yep, he's kind of there.
I think am I?
Whoa.
It's kind of like delayed.
Okay. Well, I'll just listen then.
Yep, that's fine. Yep. Yeah.
It's probably your
Anywho,
laptop just coming back to life.
it's catching up.
No,
Yep.
but I really think that this thing's gonna start to really fire off, especially when the elites do their smallmouth swing, because this thing is going to be a smallmouth deal. I can almost guarantee it. I am by no means a smallmouth, guru, but I know enough that they'll eat this guy right here on a Ned rig.
So but my thing is though is like, and even though like I'm only looking at Tackle Warehouse website right now, and I should probably go to like the Yamamoto website or whatnot, but like I'm surprised that they don't have that in a white color yet, unless you know if they do.
Yeah, they don't.
Okay. See that's where they're missing out.
But I'm sure that they listen to the feedback and they pump this little guy out pretty quick. So I'm sure the colors will come. They have all the kind of genuine colors.
Yeah, they've got the green pumpkin.
Here's the baby bass. This is a little baby bass guy. They got watermelon red. They got, I believe they might have black and blue, but
they do. Yep, they got black blue. They've got Mimizu.
There's also some new colors that Yamamoto is coming out with, but I can't show you guys like too much.
Are they going to be revealed at ICAST?
Yes.
Well,
new colors are always fun because it's just all it takes is a few fish and you're like instantly like, oh my gosh, it's the best color in the world.
Right.
That's all it takes. A few good bites and you're like, man, that's the juice. Are you with us, Sean?
I can hear you. I'm not sure if I'm caught up with you guys yet.
Oh, you might be now.
I think you are now.
Hopefully I am.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
there's maybe like a 2-3
well,
second
sweet.
delay.
I'm sorry I missed half the show, but thanks for having me back on.
A little technical delay.
Yeah, it happens. It happens on the interwebs. No,
yeah,
but Sean, I went over
weird.
that.
Before we started, I looked at my. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I just dropped it. There you
I still got a delay apparently.
Yeah.
Oh man, I dropped the
dropping baits now.
No, but Sean, I talked about too that they have some Ned floaters. This is kind of a newer bait too. Like I said, anytime you see like this different colored packaging, you kind of know like it's a little bit of a newer bait. They kind of have like their new floating technology that's coming out in their newer stuff, and it makes things stand up, which are always good. No point intended.
Right.
He's pretty delayed for sure.
Yeah, I think he still is pretty delayed. I wonder if his laptop is now on.
He just heard my joke.
Well, that's cool because Yama Tanuki.
Yes, he's really delayed. I wonder if he's.
Oh man, I'm sorry, guys.
We'll just have to talk and then wait for 5, 6, 7 seconds, and then wait for a response.
Let's just wait. Let's wait.
Right. For our listeners out there, we apologize for the technical difficulties we are experiencing.
So when I first saw the Yamatanuki, I totally thought it was perfect for a Ned rig.
Oh no.
So now that you're saying that there's another Ned rig bait that's coming or that's out, I'm like, that's so. All right, I'm gonna jump out and come back in.
Okay.
Dude, have you ever seen Zootopia? Have you ever seen Zootopia when they're talking to the sloth at the DMV?
Oh, that's the greatest. It's just what was it? It was like a knock joke or something like there.
That's what we just experienced. He was like, and the Ned rig.
You're right. Yeah. And the fox is at the counter. She's like,
yeah.
Anywho, yes.
Anywho.
So yeah, sorry guys for the technical difficulties we're having right now. So yep, we're working through them as we go on.
We're working through it, but hey.
Anywho,
if you Nico rig a bait, a little hack, okay? Instead of pushing the weight all the way into the soft plastic, and that's what I like about this specific Nico weight is that sometimes when I'm around a lot of rock or I know it's a hard bottom, I'll put the nail weight in, and sometimes I'll put super glue too, and then shove it in there. But I'll leave a little bit exposed right there, just a little bit, so that way it's making a little noise on the bottom. Yeah.
Yep.
Sean, are you with us?
I see him shaking his
I am
head,
here.
But nope, there's still a delay.
No.
Yep, there's still a delay. That's so weird.
Well, you guys carry on then. I'm just gonna be part of the. Part of the audience.
Well, hold on, wait. Maybe you were. Well, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It looks like
I'm in the basement where I have no wire connection.
Oh wait, well, it looks like it's real time now.
Say something, Sean.
Test.
Yeah.
That was kind of delayed, though.
It's pretty close now. It's not near as bad as what it was.
Okay. Well,
it's pretty close now. It's a lot better than what it was.
Pitch in when I can and carry on as it works. Okay.
And it freezes up and your face is smiling again. We're just gonna.
He's gonna listen back to this. He's gonna listen back to this episode and hear about Zootopia, and he's gonna
be like, "What?
Oh, guys, I'm so sorry."
Hey, well, we're just roll with it. Anyway, yeah, that's a really good hack. With the nail weights, and they're just leave a little tidbit kind of hanging out there at the end, and it also kind of reminds you that, hey, you still got a nail weight in that bait, because I can't tell you, like, there's been a lot of times where I'll forget that I put a nail weight in some of my plastics, and I just totally forget about them.
100% true. And these Wu Tungsten weights are not cheap. They are not cheap.
Nope, they are not.
What else could we kind of cover, Susie? What do you think?
Let's see here. So, we were going to talk about the new Yamatanukis, and then let's see here. What else were we going to cover? I'm having a brain fart.
if you guys can hear me, I know Shane, you wanted to talk about that experience you had when your buddy came out and you guys did some filming and stuff. So I thought that would be cool to talk about, just because a lot of folks have photography as a hobby, and I feel like if people are looking for a way into this sport, that there is availability there, that they are looking for people to create content like that. So
yeah, man. Susie, I don't know, can you pull up YouTube? Like, can you pull up stuff on here?
Yep.
Can you pull up Bass Thumbs Fishing on YouTube really quick?
Yep. What's it called?
Bass Thumbs Fishing. So basically, I was fortunate enough to have Motor Guide hop on board with me. They've been supporting myself and everything that I've been doing for the last like 4 years now. We've done a ton of R&D together. We came out with the kayak motor together. It's just something, it's a relationship that I've been building for a really long time. And I had this video idea in mind of doing, it's the video right there, the first one. And it's filmed from a perspective of, a little bit of a different perspective than just a GoPro on your chest. So I had my buddy Dominic Doan come out. He's a double-digit angler on Instagram and YouTube. Does incredible videography work and photography work. And he came out with me for the entire day, from the moment we got in line all the way till lines out and after lines out, and filmed the entire video, or filmed my entire day. So he got every fish catch, everything. Like, it was really fun. And on top of it all, I was able to put together a really good bag. I came within 2 inches of first place, and I took 5th place overall, and I caught big fish of the tournament. And it was the biggest fish I've ever caught in a tournament, live tournament. It was a 22-inch fish on a Cinco, and yes, I thought it was a double digit.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, it was just something that, I had a ton of good feedback from all of my sponsors. There's a couple other sponsors that want to possibly do another tournament here this season. It was just something that me and him kind of dreamed up together, and it all came to life. And I think it's coming up. I think it just broke 9,000 views on YouTube, which is my best performing tournament video. And
look at all those rods.
That's when you know that I do not know what I'm doing that day.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. That's just something kind of exciting that I did this year, new, different. And like I said, we all see the typical, not typical, because some people do an incredible job with it, but the GoPro style, whether it's over your shoulder or on your chest. This was all filmed from my buddy's kayak, which is kind of what you see the Elite Series guys doing with their vlogs. They have a bass boat come out and film them from that perspective. And I kind of wanted to go that route with the kayak scene, and it was a lot of fun. And like I said, I was super nervous, didn't know how the day was going to go, and it went really, really well.
So how was it? Just like one person with this camera crew, or like how many?
Just one person.
One person did all of this filming and did all the editing and all of this.
Yes, as you can see, it's like super high quality. Like, he had and I was also wearing a Rode mic, wireless Rode mic the entire time, so the audio is just incredible.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see it on your shirt there, like in one part of it too.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to fast forward and watch me catch the big one, that'd be kind of fun.
Okay. Yeah. Do you know about what?
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Right. Keep going. Keep going. Right here. Go back a little bit. Go back a little bit. Back. Keep going. Right there. That's not the big fish, by the way. It's the next one.
I was going to say, that's a little guy.
That is definitely not the big one.
That's that's a little
Just thought I'd throw
guy.
that out there. This is the big one.
There
If
is
you want to
40
pause it
bass
really
right
quick,
here.
you want to pause it really quick, and I'll give you the little backstory.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had just caught that little guy. Okay,
Yeah.
it was tough fishing a little bit. Like, you know, it wasn't a wide open bite, so that little male was on a bed, so I caught him really quick. I stood back up, and I was like, oh my gosh! I was all of a sudden surrounded by like, I'm not even exaggerating. I know people exaggerate in fishing, okay, but I'm literally not exaggerating.
Yeah.
There was at least 15 fish wolf packed up. I'm in like 6 feet of water. There's like 15 fish wolf packed up, and they're all over 18 inches. All of them. I see all of them. And I was like, oh my gosh, Dom, stand up. Like, move. Because he was just filming, you know, that fish and stuff. So that's why he's so close to me right there. And this is why he's using the GoPro footage on this specific one. But then he switches to the camera in a second. But then I start fan casting my Senko because I know that they're really close. You know, it's a wolf pack of fish. And they were active. They were like, you know, they were hunting. They were ready. And go ahead and play it.
All right.
So I grabbed the Senko, of course. And they didn't bite right away. This was maybe like 3 minutes after I saw them, and I was just trying to keep up with them.
Sure.
And then I got bit. I don't know if you can play the audio or not.
I don't know if it
subtitles were on, so
Tom, please.
I can hear it.
Please.
Can you hear it, Susie?
Yeah, I can hear
on
it.
my end.
Look at that shot, dude.
Oh, that's awesome.
Please stay on. Please stay on. Please stay on. Oh my gosh, Dom, it's a double digit, bro. Oh my gosh, Dom, it's a double digit, bro. Please stay on. Please, Lord. Dom, there's a school of them right here. Please. Please get over. Get over. Come on, just come over, please. Come on, bro. Come on. Oh my God! Dom! Dom! Oh my gosh, Dom! Oh my gosh, dude.
That's awesome that
Steve!
that you got that from so many different angles.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Right?
Yeah.
Look at this fish, bro! Dude, I think it's a double digit, dog. Oh my gosh, dude.
The things you say when you catch a big fish.
Dude, I would have been using some
I was
other.
gonna say it was a lot cleaner than Susie's
Oh
big catch.
my goodness! Look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah.
I would not have guessed only 6'7".
I mean,
That
I
looks
had
like
just caught
10.
that bedfish.
You can
and-
pause it now if you want. But yeah, that happened. So that was a 22 incher on the dot. That was $1,000 fish. I won $1,000 and a $300 pair of Costa sunglasses.
Nice.
So yeah, that was a really, really awesome moment. And like I said, like I was so nervous because like it was my first time getting filmed like that. Don't know how the day is gonna go, and I end up taking 5th and catching big fish at the event. Like, what could you like? Other than winning it, like that was just insane and so fun.
That's awesome. And it was all filmed and edited by just, one guy.
Yep, he put a lot of. He was really awesome. It was fun.
He's got some talent for sure.
Yes.
He definitely does. Yeah, he knows what he's doing with all of it. So it'd be really cool if you haven't seen it, go ahead and check that out it's on my YouTube. Give it a like and a share, and it'd be awesome for you guys to comment on it. It's like I said, it's done really well for my channel. I'm no Greg Blanchard. I don't get like 60,000 views in the first 10 seconds, but it's up there and it's doing well, and I've gotten a ton of positive feedback from it, and I'm hoping to do it again.
Heck
Cool.
yeah.
Well, we'll definitely include a link to it in the show notes for you.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah,
That'd be
definitely.
awesome.
But yeah,
That
I
was-
don't know about you, but I would have definitely dropped a lot of S-bombs in that video. Like,
Well, Susie, it was edited, okay? It was.
okay. I mean, like every other word from me would have been holy beep, 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 beep. There would have been a lot of like the, like when
Yeah.
you're watching general TV and they beep out the expletives, there would have been a lot of beep, 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 beep.
Well, like I said, I was 2 inches out of first in that tournament, and I lost a
man.
fish. I lost a fish right at the boat. That would have put me like, it would have been about a 4-inch call. So I would have won the tournament. I got that on video too, so it's not just like a fish story like you normally would hear.
Yeah,
It's on
yeah.
video, and it came off at the boat. It was just kind of a rusty move. I had my rod tip way up when it jumped right next to my boat, and you always want to try to get that pressure down on the fish.
Yeah.
Especially when it's close to you. It was one of those moments where like I knew I should have put my rod tip down when it was gonna jump, but I just kept it up for some weird reason. And as soon as it jumped and slacklined me, it was over. It popped right
Yeah.
out. So
In the heat of the
good tip
moment.
for those people just getting into this too. I mean, I remember making that mistake so many times when I first got it started. I'd be fishing with other people, and he's telling me in the background, "Keep your rod tip down. Keep your rod tip down." And next thing I know, my rod tip's in the air again, and it makes such a huge difference because, like you said, it gives them that opportunity to get slack, and then it's all over.
especially on a bigger fish, you never, even if you're, I mean, the only time I guess you want to rush it is if it's like a frog fish, or if you're punching. Obviously, it doesn't matter how big it is. You need to just crank the reel and flip it in the boat as fast as you can. But like any other kind of bait you're throwing on fluorocarbon, whether it's crankbait, chatterbait, square bill, finesse fishing, just do your absolute best to not rush the fish, and just watch the fish and let the fish kind of tell you that they don't move very fast, and just watch it and let it, react to what it's doing. It'll come to the boat when it's ready. It ain't gonna keep, it ain't gonna keep up. It's gonna get tired out. So it's better to not rush it and let it tire out than to try to rush it like I was doing and lose it.
Yeah.
So
it's just, in the heat of the moment, you just,
yeah.
you're just, the adrenaline's going, and you just, yep.
But there was definitely some words when I lost that fish.
Good to know. Good
Yes.
to know.
I don't know how many times I've said it fishing, but I'm like, Lord, sorry I said what I said when I lost that fish.
It's funny because if you heard me, I was praying to God to not lose it. And then when we do lose it, we're like, son of a
beep, 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 beep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I go salmon fishing this September, I do want to reach out to somebody to try to get like some filming done and whatnot with that, because I mean, I know there's a lot of people that bash fish and whatnot, but like when it comes to salmon fishing, like that is where like I feel that like there is just like that biggest adrenaline rush for me, and just like that almost that bigger joy in a sense, and like I want to capture that, and so like I just need to figure out who in a sense to reach out to, to try to kind of do like what that guy did for you, Shane,
Yeah.
just be like, hey, listen, like I don't need anything like stupid fancy, but like this is what I want. I'm gonna be up here for this many days. Like, what are we gonna look at? Like,
Yeah.
rain or shine, man. I'm gonna be out there. Like, we're just gonna be trolling for salmon. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, Susie, who did the that catch stuff that you were in? Because that was pretty high quality too.
That was just on catches side of things.
Okay. Because I thought that was pretty well done too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always have high quality stuff.
Yeah, that's it's. I don't think it's going to be an option for
Gotcha.
me.
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
sense.
Well, yeah,
Um,
especially if it's their you know their people.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Plus, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think it. I don't think it might work out.
Gotcha,
So,
gotcha. No, understood.
Well, I'm
So
hoping that that video does encourage people to kind of push it a little bit as far as content. I think our
Yes.
sport needs that side of things as far as content goes. It would be a nice fresh look, especially for the guys and girls that are doing like that tournament scene. Like, I would love to watch like Christine Fisher and Russ Snyder's and those kind of anglers fish, and from that perspective of things instead of just the GoPro.
Right.
It'd be fun to see that. But I did see that Guillermo Gonzalez is kind of starting to promote himself as a videographer and stuff to help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yep.
it's
Yep.
cool.
no,
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think just adding that perspective outside of the GoPro shot just does so much because it does. It's such a different view that you just don't see.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yep.
It'd be awesome to see like a camera boat at these bigger orgs filming things like that, especially the people that are up towards the top. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yes.
it makes total sense too. Like I mean, they do it for the big boat scene, so I mean,
Yeah.
it could work just the same. I mean, they obviously have to get into a little bit of skinnier water sometimes, but
Yeah.
there's actually ways to do that. So
Yeah.
Yep.
What up next, Sean? I think kind of covered most of the things, but
yeah, I think that's good. I mean, I'm sorry I missed half of it. I apologize to the listeners for my technical difficulties, but my phone is keeping
No,
me
you're
alive
good.
and well right now. So
we were still we were spilling out the juice of all the new stuff. I covered some things with Susie, and
I'm
I'm
totally
sure the
going to go back
listeners
and
saw it.
listen to it now. You know?
Yeah.
Right. You missed all the good stuff.
That's right. That's right. Well, hey Shane, thanks again for coming on. I wanted to give you a chance. Folks obviously can find you a lot of different places, but why don't you just let them know where all those places are? Where can they catch Bass Thumbs, and then social media, and obviously Yamamoto's a big sponsor, but what else you got?
Yeah, man. Well, thank you guys so much for having me on the show. I'd love to come back on in the future and talk about some newer baits and stuff that are coming.
Definitely.
And also some other new things that are coming at ICAST that you guys will soon see on the on the water side of things.
Okay.
So there's a little hint right there. But as far as yeah, thank you guys for having me on. I want to if you guys are listening, you guys want to follow me some more, you guys can find me on Instagram at Bass Thumbs Fishing. Also on YouTube. So I try to film as much as I can, and I do a lot of kayak walkthrough stuff. I try to push the limits as far as like rigging out the kayak. And I just recently dropped a video. It's called like Kayak 2023 Technology, where I basically rigged out my newest kayak as much as I could possibly fit on there, as far as like the technology that is acceptable on a kayak. I got the live scope. I got the most recent Garmin unit. Got a bunch of Dakota lithium batteries. I did the power pole motor guide. Like, as far as technology goes, also have the new Sniper Marine mount, which is the new mount to hold a live scope.
Yep.
And it came out well. So if you guys want to check out my YouTube, I kind of do a variety of different videos. And also on Facebook, you guys can Bass Thumbs Fishing Podcast on Facebook. That's where I go live. And if you guys listen to my show live, for the live listeners, Yak Attack so graciously has sponsored the show, and we do a lot of live listener giveaways. And it was funny. One show, we're doing the show, and all of a sudden, companies were watching, and we gave away a Newport vessel to one of the live listeners.
Oh, nice!
It was insane. Romel hopped on there and gave away a Newport, so that was pretty crazy.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So just like I said earlier, just trying to promote the western region kayak fishing scene. have a passion for fishing at the end of the day. You know, it's not always about competing. I take my son out fishing here locally, and, you know, I do a ton of fun fishing from the bank. I'm a float tuber at heart, so I always have the float tube in mind when I'm out on the water. And as far as sponsors go, yeah, you know, Yamamoto, Buckeye Lures, Steel Shad, Motor Guide, Bonafide, Dakota Lithium are kind of my main ones. Also, I work for a shop in San Diego. It's called Kayak Fish Supplies, and it's OEX. Man, they have supported me so much throughout the last few years, and I do all their social media work. So it's fun to have a little bit of a toe in the industry, and they help me rig out my kayaks, and anything that I kind of dream up, they do. And that's the cool thing about them too. If you guys want to shop through them, let's just say you guys like my kayak setup, or you like a kayak setup that you see on their YouTube channel, they'll rig it up completely plug and play and ship it straight to your door plug and play, which is pretty unique and really awesome that they have that service. But yeah, Sean, thank you guys so much. Like I said, I love the PaddleNFin family, Brian, Jimmy, everyone, Susie, you guys are all incredible people, and you guys promote the sport, you know, probably the best in the industry as far as promoting the sport goes. Love laughing with you, Susie. I always love your laugh. And Sean, it's always good to see you too, man.
Yeah, definitely glad to have you back on, man. We won't let you be a stranger. Definitely want to hear about the stuff after, you know, you make the splash at ICAST. We'll try and have you back on, and you can talk about that stuff a little bit more. So
yeah,
cool.
That'd be awesome.
Awesome. Susie, you got anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Well,
keep on rocking it.
Cool.
Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
that sounds great. So, well, thanks again, everyone, for joining us. Apologize for my technical difficulties, but you know, we toughed through it. Susie and Shane are pros and handled it. There's the Tanuki wiggling a little bit there, so we'll. I'm looking forward to trying that. And guys, so be sure and check out the show notes to follow along with Shane and all his YouTube and Bass Thumbs and everything. Give him a follow if you can. And otherwise, thanks for tuning in. And this has been another episode of Bass Fishing for Noobs here on the PaddleNFin podcast, where we bring you the techniques, the tricks, and the tips to help you rip more lips. I hope you guys have a good night. And I'm going to queue up this before I start it because my laptop is still lagging a little bit, but let's see how this goes. All right, guys, have a good night. I got a closer. There it is.
Oh, just kidding. We did it!
Oh my